Hey guys, it's Ken with KenMcElroy.com, and I'm here with my good buddy Tom Wheelwright, a fellow rich dad advisor. Obviously, he specializes in tax. He's got a phenomenal book called Tax-Free Wealth, and it's available everywhere. And his company, Wealthability, at wealthability.com, is an international tax firm, and I'll have him tell a little bit more about that. We've been friends forever. He has helped me on so many things. You remember that deal that we were doing with Robert Kiyosaki? Yeah, so just as an example, this is the only time that I've ever done this, but I called Tom to actually help the seller with his the seller's tax problem.
Right, because he had such a big tax problem, he couldn't justify selling the property.
It was unbelievable.
With this tax problem. It was like a $3 million tax problem.
Yeah, so we got all the way through this deal, and then he wanted the money and all that stuff. We got all the way through, and at the end, he's like, I can't sell it. I have this big tax problem. And we were like so close to closing, and I called Tom, and he went and met with that guy's tax advisor.
I actually remember it pretty well because it was like April 8th. Which is, like right before the deadline.
Yeah, by the way, thanks.
I got to tell you, it was fine for me, but that tax preparer was not happy with my call.
I remember.
Because I called her and I go, okay, now, wait a minute. I think if we do this, we can actually reduce that $3 million tax bill to about $95,000.
Yeah.
I said, would you take a look at it? And
now,
she's
guys,
going, it's April 8th.
You gotta understand, like this is not Tom's client. This is a deal that he hasn't even gotten yet. We haven't even bought it. So we're in escrow trying to buy something, right. And he reduced the seller's tax bill from $3 million to $95,000. And there are lots of ways to do this. And so Tom's been a good friend of mine. I'm his advisor on many things, and he's my advisor on many things. And when we talk about team and rich dad, this is exactly what we're talking about. I would not have been able to buy that property without Tom, for sure. And so Tom, he'll tell you, our biggest expense of our entire life is tax.
Absolutely. And it's actually the easiest expense to reduce. So, I always say, quickest way to put money in your pocket and the easiest way to put money in your pocket is just reduce your taxes.
Right. So what I wanted to do for all you guys is bring you these things, the 2018 tax strategies for real estate, because as you guys know, the laws changed, things have changed, and for real estate holders, it's a good thing.
Oh my heavens, the changes we're going to go through are absolutely amazing.
So with that, here's Tom Wheelwright. Tom, thank you. Awesome.
Welcome back. Tom Wheelwright with Wealthability, and talking about really one of my favorite topics, the top 5 deductions that people miss. Now, here's the question that most people misunderstand. People always ask me, they say, is this deductible? And there's a better question. And the question is, how do I make this deductible? Because the reality is, there's 3 simple rules for making something deductible. And if you follow those 3 simple rules, and we'll talk about that in our premium video, but there's 3 simple rules to making anything deductible. And once we get those 3 down, these 5, these are the ones that we really want to focus on. So number 1 is, and this is the one, so I travel all over the world. Ken and I have been, seriously, every continent. And when I talk to crowds, especially in the US, and I ask them, how many have ever been told not to take a deduction? Literally 85 to 90% raise their hand. And then I ask them, who told you not to take it? It was their tax preparer, their tax advisor. I'm going, well, why do you think that is? Well, because it's a red flag. I'm going, here's the one that they all think is a red flag. Home office. Okay, now home office deduction is a powerful, powerful deduction, and people don't focus on just how powerful it is. And here's why it is. It's because of the actually number 2 deduction that people miss, and that is the deduction for your car. Now, when we get to the next video and we talk about the top 3 new tax benefits for real estate professionals from the new Trump tax bill, we're going to actually focus pretty heavily on cars. But the thing about the car is your deduction, and this is what I'm going to explain in the longer video, is that when you have a home office, your automobile deduction can double. Your automobile deduction actually increases substantially when you have a home office. So here's the thing. Home office is a deduction that is specifically allowed in the tax law. There's a code section that says, here's how you do a home office. So why would you not take this deduction? On top of that, a home office deduction, if done right, has not been a red flag for over 25 years. So I think it's time to get over that. We're going to start taking the deductions that we're entitled to. Number 3. Meals. Now, it used to be meals and entertainment, not entertainment anymore, okay? That deduction went away with the Trump tax bill. But meals are still deductible. Now, when are they deductible? That's the question. So the question is not, are my meals deductible? The question is, how do I make my meals deductible? And that's what we're going to get to when we go through this in detail. We're going to talk about how to make, really just about any time you go out to dinner, how to make that deductible. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, 4th one. This is one of my favorites, okay, because I love to travel, okay? Now, Ken and I, like I said, I mean, we've been in Russia, we've been in Australia, we've been in Europe, we've been in South America, and wherever we go, guess what? Our travel is deductible. Now, we actually get another benefit. Our travel is actually paid for, so that's even better than getting a deduction. But let me tell you, there's a way that you can deduct almost every time you travel. In fact, you could technically deduct every single time you travel if you follow the rules. Again, it's not, is it deductible? It's, how do I make it deductible? Now, last but not least, near and dear to our heart, is education. Now, the IRS will tell you, you go to a seminar, that's personal. That is not deductible. But what's the question? The question is not, is it deductible? The question is, how do I make it deductible? But there's another question, which is, how do I make it deductible and not have the IRS raise their eyebrows? So we're going to talk about how to make your education deductible and how to make it not be an issue with the IRS, how it not to be a red flag. Because do we want these to be red flags? Of course not. But they don't have to be. And a lot of that's going to depend on your tax preparer and how you prepare your tax return. Hey, so thanks so much for watching. And in the next video, I'm going to share the top 3 real estate tax benefits from the Trump tax bill. And these are so cool, you will not want to miss them.